So, in the pandemic, right, it's something I want to discuss, right? For many a year, we talked to kids about, hey, you don't take candy or food from strangers, right?
Right.
So, I'm at work the other day, and a guy says, oh, like, I'm helping him, and he's like, hey, you want some hand sanitizer? And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? No. Like, do you sanitize with strangers? Like, I don't want no I don't know what the fuck he's got in his hand sanitizer.
How do you know it's really sanitizer?
How do I know what the fuck it is in general? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
It could be man lube.
It could be a who the fuck knows what it is?
Right.
So can you sanitize with strangers, or should that be a new rule? Like, don't sanitize with strangers. Like, don't socialize with strangers. Don't take candy from strangers. Like,
but we take candy from strangers every freaking Halloween.
So is there gonna be a Halloween this year?
No, so far everything's been canceled.
But he does make a good point. Like, we take, like, I think it depends on the circumstance. During the pandemic, I think it did bring a lot of people together and being more conscious about, germs and stuff like that, and not spreading it to others. In the same breath, you do have these people out here that you could have chloroform in it.
So I do that as a joke, right? Like, I go to people like, yo, does this smell like coronavirus?
Wow.
Does it smell like chloroform? But the new joint, does this smell like coronavirus? And you catch somebody slipping.
Yeah, what does coronavirus smell like?
It doesn't have a smell.
How do you?
Because apparently one of the symptoms is you lose your sense of smell.
I don't want.
Just because you lost your sense of smell doesn't mean it doesn't have a smell.
I don't want to ask him how he knows, because he's asymptomatic or whatever the hell.
Oh.
So, he might know from experience. So
yeah, I need the 6 feet distance.
But I am completely asymptomatic.
So with that being said, like, I wrote down like some things, because like, I feel like even though we've done like 14 or 15 podcast episodes, we're not getting it right. So
okay,
and I always tell myself, like, I'm gonna get it right this time. I'm gonna get it right this time, and I don't. So I wrote it down. So
is this a self-reflective episode?
Self-reflective. So welcome. Two Dab Crew presents The Powder Room.
Okay.
Right? So, welcome. The Powder Room podcast presented to you by Two Dab Crew. I'm your host, Baby Powder. I'm here with Andre and Ergoff.
Yo.
No special guest today. I mean, we had a special guest last episode, but that episode didn't save.
So is that on your list of things you need to make sure we get right, saving the actual podcast we record?
Making sure the podcast saves, too. And this podcast is now in conjunction with Elite Photos.
Oh, we got a real sponsor now?
As the conglomerate of multimedia empires expands, we definitely want to, take a moment to recognize our official photographer for the Two Dab Crew. Basically our conglomerate, only takes photos with Elite Photos. Okay. So if you want to do a photo shoot with us, it's got to go through him.
Does that mean we're going to do face reveals? I think that should be our 100 subscriber goal, face reveals, and we'll switch to a video
eventually
format.
Things will happen, but in general, like anything we do in the future, all photography will be done exclusively by Elite Photos. And if another photographer wants to work with us, they got to go through Elite Photos in conjunction with them.
Okay.
Right? And I also want to make sure I hit a couple shout-outs. So I'm always talking about how much I love his work, but the official artist, I want to say, of the Two Dab Crew, the Powder Room podcast, I'm gonna call it Ozzy the Virus. Okay. I love his work. He's done some custom work for me. Eventually, when he gets some time, I'm gonna have him redo the logo for the podcast.
Okay.
But his anime renditions are out of this world. So if you don't know about Ozzy yet, you need to get your ass on Instagram. Check out his website, Virus Graphics, but it's VYRUS Graphics, but graphics is with an IX at the end. So GRAPHIX.com.
Link in the description.
Links are there. I follow him on Instagram. So if you hit us up on Instagram at BP_2dab, you'll find him. Again, he's not associated with the podcast, but his art is ridiculous. If you like anime, his art is out of this world. So please show the man some love, as we always do. And I want to give another shout out to Vinyl Cafe. You know, even though it's not too much associated with the podcast yet.
These are future individuals we'll be working with who got projects in the works.
He is working, you know, in conjunction with, you know, Elite Photos, which is, you know, our, you know, brethren of multimedia. Brethren? Yes, whatever. So Vinyl Cafe is on 75 East Colonial Drive in Orlando. They got hemp, CBD, hookah, food, music, pool tables. They got a live DJ. The owner there actually spins disc. Believe it or not,
actual vinyls. You mean vinyls?
Actual vinyls. He doesn't use a fucking computer. So if you want to see a real DJ, or get a good hookah or some hemp, CBD, or some food, you know, please check out Vinyl Cafe. Show them some love. Again, 75 East Colonial Drive in Orlando. And a couple clothing brands that I'm fucking with. You know, as always, Vans, DGK. DGK is phenomenal. You know, I'm more recent to figuring them out. Mm-hmm. And then Rip and Dip, because I love that fucking clothing brand. So that's what I got. Anybody want to give a shout out to anybody else? Want to shout out?
How about a shout out to us, man? We've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yeah,
and like we're evolving.
We're like episode 20, but you guys only heard 12.
In that case, it's like episode like 42.
as of this morning, 300 streams.
Okay.
So definitely appreciate the love that we're getting out there. And our France plug, you know, listen to the iPod's episode, listen to it today. So please follow us at BP_2dab on any social media platform, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Listen to the podcast on basically every platform. I even got the link on Amazon, and Amazon hasn't actually started their podcast shit yet.
Oh.
It's prerequisite, but we already got the plug to get into Amazon. The only motherfuckers that don't pick up our podcast is Pandora. So please, like, it's hashtag boycott Pandora until they put the 2Dab Crew podcast.
Did they reject our podcast?
Nah, it says it's been in review since April. So they shit just fucked up. But again, like, why would you want to deal with a service like that? Like, fuck Pandora until they put us on. Then
all about it.
Then we'll fuck with Pandora.
We only sell out for the best of them.
Yeah. All right. So something I want to jump into before we get into the actual topic I want to hit up real quick is we got to talk between ourselves. Mm-hmm. All right. Like, I get we all got our stage names and whatever. Mm-hmm. But my man, you got to stop calling me baby on the podcast. You can call me Powder, BP, something like that. But when I go back and listen to the podcast afterwards, he's like, well, baby, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know if I'm like a baby, like if you're calling me like a child, or if I'm like your baby, like if we cuddling, you know, or you're trying to say, you know, like something. I caught you off guard there. You see that?
I don't even have shit
never
to say.
Right now, he's all like, "I've been exposed. My secret's out there."
Truthfully, I'm just focusing on not like using government names.
I know, because we're not trying to get no. I'm not trying to get that chest up check showing up. Like, I need some of that.
He got that podcast.
I need that podcast cash. That pod cash.
So whatever comes up comes out. My bad, Powder. That's real weird too, though.
Yeah, I mean,
so
why?
Powder was struck by lightning.
Because I'm light skinned, you can't call me Powder. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
So I think BP is just the way to go. But every time I hear BP, like, even though I
think of gas.
No, I think of big pimpin', span and cheese.
No, I think of, like, when I'm like BP, I'm thinking of like big penis. Like that's what y'all calling me. Like, you certifying me like on the podcast.
First off, I ain't certifying.
So I mean, nothing. So you can deal with us certifying you with the big penis, but nobody can call you baby. Is that what I'm hearing?
Would y'all not want to be certified like that?
Nah.
Touche, right? All right, so you know what? I feel like I hogged the podcast a lot. You know, the last one we recorded that I didn't get to save little feedback I got from people that was listening was like, you talk too much. like I hog shit. So before I even hit up a topic for me, I'm gonna open the forum to anybody here that's got something.
All right. So I want to play off something you said. So you hit up your man Virus with some dope ass anime shit, which is cool. But we haven't even established that as a demographic because we have never talked about that before on the podcast.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't need a demographic. Like our demographic is whoever. Like,
I know, but like you can't recommend something to people who don't even know. Like that is an interest. Like we've never talked about it before.
But he does way more than just like his anime renditions is what he does. But he's also an artist for hire. So like if you need logos or like again, he will be redoing the Two Dab Crew podcast logo. Once I get with him, like I know, like I had him do some other work for me, but he is
he does the sneakers and whatnot.
No, he's got a lot of work, and like a lot of people are hitting him up for custom work, and what's the word I'm looking for that he does? Commissions. Yeah. So I don't want to overload him because I want to take his time, and the last shit he did with me was fire. So like his work certified in my book. Like you tell me Ozzy got a new drop. I'm waiting for it. Anyway, so Ozzy is certified. And I'll leave it at that. So I mean, like again, it's not an anime thing or this thing. It's we show love as much as we show hate. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely hate on somebody, but when they shit is fire, I'm gonna give it to them. Hey, right. Your shit's dope, and if your shit was whack, I tell you your shit was whack, right?
Right.
All right. So we free love and hate around here.
All right. Spreading the love and hate.
Exactly.
All right. So let's talk about so let's think about this. So what do you want to get out of the podcast? Let me ask you that.
What do I want to get out of the podcast? Yeah. I want to get paid. That's what I want to get
cash?
Out of the podcast.
You want podcast?
I want podcast. I'm trying to get paid. To me, and I guess like the podcast is again like we went back in the day when we would hang out at the bars,
right? And
we would always be the two most interesting motherfuckers at the bar.
Still to this day, we go to a bar, we get people involved in what we're talking about.
But it's like when growing up, I wanted to be a marine biologist, right? And then I got scared of the water as a teenager. So then it was like, all right, well, then I was a library aide. So it was like, yo, I like computers and did that shit for a while. But then that became such a hype. Then it was like, what? I want to run a business. Mm-hmm. And then that shit becomes, it's like every time I have a dream, the minute it becomes work, it no longer seems fun anymore because It feels like it's forced versus something that's flow. But the one thing is like, I was like, oh, you know what? Well, we're kind of catchy. We have fun doing this. And basically we're recording ourselves talking a lot of shit.
Right.
So it's like, why not do something that you actually enjoy in life? And it's like, maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. But you know what? Regardless if we make it big or not, like I'm still enjoying myself right now. The only unenjoyment of all this is setting the shit up every time, putting it away, setting it up, putting it away. But it's like when we sit here and record, it's funny. I have fun. So even if it doesn't turn into anything, it's still something. But if we do something, it's not only do we get put on, but it's like we put other people on. Okay. So again, I want to make sure that, like I start the episode with showing love to people who showed us love.
All right. So like that's my main thing about the podcast. Like I like doing this shit because I just like talking shit, the low key shit. See, use the outlandish shit talker. I'm like the low key. Yo, what did he say? What did he just say that? That's the kind of shit I like doing. So for me, when we do this podcast, it's literally callbacks to us sitting in the bar talking shit, clowning people, coming up with outrageous like topics like, is pizza a sandwich? Right? Technically, yes, pizza's a sandwich, but we won't get into that today. But like to me, that's what this podcast is. It's giving us specific time in our busy lives because we're all professionals here. We all got stuff going on, but this podcast is time for us to sit down and just chill like we used to and talk mad shit for like 45 minutes to way too long. So what are you looking to get out of the podcast?
For me, I'm really just trying to get my feet, wet. I'm new to the whole putting myself out there in this.
Oh shit, we got the remix. We dealing with some wet ass feet.
Yeah.
You dealing with some wet ass feet. Put your foot in the sock, then you stick it in the shoe. If it's smelling wet, when you take it off, that smell is ooh ooh. You
Wow,
dealing with some wet ass feet.
I'm gonna give you a solid 2, and that's all.
I mean, it could be worse. Like we could rap battle, you know.
You don't.
Oh my God,
we can't do that.
You don't want to hear me do
Crew
that. I am
presents
terrible.
The Powder Room, the first ever rap battle podcast.
A rapper, I am not.
Can I sit there like Little Dicky and write out all my jokes way ahead of time?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do because I am not a rapper and definitely not a freestyler.
That shit is ridiculous. I like Lil Dicky though.
Yeah.
That shit is ridiculous.
But before I was so rudely interrupted by that terrible rap. No, I just kind of my personality. I've had similar interactions with Andre where we're just chilling. We're at a Winn-Dixie and we're getting cashiers involved in conversations. I can be outlandish. I can be very charismatic. I can be very boisterous and loud. But I think for me, as part of just my personality, I like to see where I'm needed and try to be that. And so I feel like I'm selling in the role of straight man right now. Like, you know, you two guys are kind of ridiculous. And I feel like I'm the straight man in a lot of situations. And I'm okay with that because I know that sometimes you have to bring that balance. And so for everything to work perfectly, you have to have your charismatic
So
host.
you're a wet blanket is what I'm hearing. He trying to harsh y'all high.
No, I'm the straight man.
I mean, I think he's the humble approach to everything else. Because again, like I'm outlandish, you kind of in between, and then he's like the humble. So it's like you get different shades. But what I have heard from people who listen is that we gotta get a female perspective.
That's what our guests are for, though. Like that's when we bring on the guests, get a female perspective on something completely ridiculous. Like, I want to bring a female on and ask her about R. Kelly. Because, you know, that's our topic. That topic, we're going to be 10 years into this podcast. Nobody's going to know who R. Kelly is.
But I tell you,
still
like,
talking
about Robert.
even so, like when R. Kelly music come on, man, like it just does something to me. Like, you know, like you just want to start slow grinding or something. And I don't even think that exists anymore. Like, I mean, with clubs, remember clubs are almost non-existent during the pandemic. You know, TikTok, a lot of things. I ain't seen no TikTok to no R. Kelly like grind videos. Like.
So that music.
If you did it though, like, would you get likes? Like, I think we should do that. I think we should open up a 2Dab Crew TikTok. And we do like grind videos to like some R. Kelly jams and see if we get likes.
So as someone who lives on TikTok, I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody's gonna open up TikTok and want to see us grinding on nothing. like I don't want to see you grinding. I don't want to see you grinding. I don't want to see me grinding.
But you got to take into account, you know, like I'm the pretty one.
But I'm the best dancer here, hands down.
Whoa! But I'm the funny one.
Hey, listen, I won't take from that. You know, like I won't take. I don't know how to dance. Like when I do dance though, like it's gonna be to Chris Brown "Go Crazy," and I'm gonna do a Go Crazy challenge for TikTok. But
right, I know how to get you on TikTok.
I need like an instructor, but I got to do that shit real low key. Like, you know, I don't want to be like flamboyant. Like people know him out there. I want to be like the dude who learns how to dance for his wedding that his wife doesn't know about, and she thinks he's cheating on her on the side, and she's following him, and she doesn't know that he's actually doing all that shit to take care of her.
Meeting this hot Spanish chick at a coffee shop, and she thinks you're cheating on her.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like,
so you want this dumbass drama in your life?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get that Go Crazy challenge just right. You know, like you can't come and not come correct.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen a couple of TikToks like that. It's like a white wedding. They start with like that old 50s music, and then they switch it up, and then the dude just goes like ham on like 6 different songs. And people losing their mind.
I ain't trying to be like all that.
Oh, you ain't trying to go the extra mile?
My man brings the subtle side, I guess, to
all right.
The little gentleman swag, you know, we'll call it. He ain't got no brim on today, though.
I left it in the car. I actually had my lint roller and everything. I was gonna,
You're looking like a hippie over there. For real.
I appreciate
you got the.
I'm a hipster, not a hippie.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
You got the jacket on that's open with the hoodie and the beads on, looking like you about to do a suance.
It is what it is.
Can you tell me what a suance is?
Yeah, I would go graze right on by that, but now that he opened it up, you know what? Yeah.
I'm a shit caller. Not
Right.
a shot caller.
A
shit.
suance.
Yeah, you've been on his ass all day.
A suance. We about to go sue the dude who created the toilet because we gay sitting on this shit backwards. Hey, don't fall in that bitch, all right?
Why don't people sit on the toilet backwards? Like, I don't do it, but like I think about it all the time. And like, that shit would be like mad comfortable. You just lean forward.
I know. Me personally, if I sat on the toilet backwards, I'd be splashing myself all the time.
Yeah,
you know? It's called anaconda syndrome. Like, you get used to it.
Listen, we were already in that Home Depot that one time, and I was like, I need a deep toilet so my balls don't touch the water. And that old couple was like,
when you a low hanger, you a low hanger. So anyway, anybody, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Anybody got topics?
Absolutely,
Dear Cruz.
I absolutely have a topic.
Okay.
all right.
So I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me about a friend of hers.
Okay, I got this.
And this friend of hers is a female, which will kind of factor in, I guess, a little bit. But she was saying...
Can I come up with fake names for them? How about your friend be Jessica? And then her friend be...
You're making it too complicated. Anyway, female friend got a friend.
That's super complicated. Because I was like, now I got to memorize names.
Female friend got a friend. Let's roll.
Yeah. So she was saying that her friend was telling her that, once upon a time she was hooking up with this guy and she liked him. And then she found out they were cousins. Okay. After they found out, they continued to hook up. And we're not talking distant cousins either. We're talking like first cousins. And
so how you not know you cousins?
Well, I mean, I guess some people don't associate with their family a lot.
Okay,
and
but how deep of a cousin? Like
it was a first cousin.
I don't know the degrees of a cousin, but I know like you got a aunt and an uncle, and then they have kids, or you got an aunt that got a person that I don't know the degrees of a cousin.
So she told me it was a first cousin, which means that their parents were siblings.
Okay,
so I'm assuming that they are estranged of some sort. Or something. So what's
the question? Is that
like
cool?
Well, we are obviously it's not cool. But
I know something.
I'm trying to gauge the level of shock factor because I freaked out.
I tell you a fact.
Okay.
That either the dick or the pussy was good because they went after it like after they found out they was cousins. So that sex game was right from some point.
Yeah, but I mean that's nasty.
Okay.
All right, no.
I guess the question is, before we get into it, like,
what would you do?
Like, was my level of outrage justifiable? Because I was almost ready to throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I don't know about throwing up in my mouth. Like,
I guess the question is, like, if they weren't cousins, right? Like, just imagine they weren't cousins, right? It would just be a normal thing.
Yeah, but all right.
But they're cousins.
No. But let me finish. If they grew up together and they were,
they obviously didn't because they didn't know they was cousins. Right. So that means the family was estranged. Number one.
Right.
Because how you not have like brothers and sisters, family gatherings, family reunions. I mean, I know now with COVID, but before, no excuse. So the first question I'm gonna have, right? Is I guess like were they having sex for the entertainment or to procreate? Because we know science or scientifically speaking, I guess if you procreate within your
inbreeding,
your gene family, you become a Targaryen.
You get cool ass white hair and you can talk to dragons.
Jon Snow.
Eventually, you go mad. Apparently,
Jon Snow seemed pretty cool. I mean, he didn't seem all fucked up.
Right.
So
but his boo thing / aunt
Oh, she was a little fucked up, but I guess that's like Targaryen. I guess like every crazy bitch I meet now, I'm gonna be like, yo, like your cousins must have fucked.
Because you got that Targaryen.
You too crazy. Like your cousins must have fucked. Like, your daddy related to your mama? from a gen. I think everybody need to do ancestry.com. That way they could like find out, how inbred they are.
It was so frustrating growing up in a small town in rural Mississippi because like most of the attractive girls was in my family because my family is an attractive family. So it would be very frustrating.
Just low key, non-humble bragging ass motherfucker.
Right, I was humble bragging. Like we're some good looking people.
So you ever dream about one of your cousins?
Nah.
You ever think like if that wasn't my cousin, I'd hit that?
That is a normal thought.
Yeah,
process.
That's a normal thought. I think.
You ever be banging another chick and then picturing your cousin?
No, I don't take it that far.
Any of your cousins got a big old booty that you wish you could like smack once and watch that shit jiggle from one side to the other?
That's taking it a little far too.
So you're getting a little creepy on me.
Yeah, you are. Like you entering Caucasian territory. We need you to back that up.
I was trying to figure out like if I could catch him slipping or not.
No,
because he got the wet ass feet. Fucking banana peel like fucking Bugs Bunny. You gonna slip right on that motherfucker.
All right. Hold on. Back to this. So like, what are you disgusted? What makes you disgusted?
I think the part afterwards, like, okay, you can't be blamed for something you don't know. And whereas you might feel a little like, I can't believe I did that, or I wish that wouldn't have happened, you can't change the past. So just move on. But once you know to continue and still continue.
All right, so
that's kind of weird.
So let me ask this question, right? And I'm not condoning this. I'm trying to figure out for science, of course.
For science.
Science,
bitches.
So you did it, right? And you found out that y'all was cousins, but you already did the crime. So like what was going to change in the fact that, you know what I mean? Like,
right. There's an old.
That's why I said like the sex game had to be good.
There's an old saying.
Did they get married?
No.
So then after they found out they was cousins, they just kept.
But apparently, I feel like they're still. I think they're still continuing it. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, but
and that's just weird to me. But there's this old saying, and my grandmother used to say all the time: "When you know better, you do better." So you can't
I tell people that all the time. If you knew better, you do better.
Exactly. So like. Yeah, like we get it. It was done, and they didn't know.
Oh, no.
That doesn't mean you have to continue.
So when they was fucking before they found out that they was related, they was Targaryen. But when they knew they was related and they kept fucking, they became Lannisters.
You ain't lying. I was just thinking when you started that thought process. I was like, I know how it's gonna fit.
All right, so then let me ask you this then, right? Do you believe in the stories told in the Bible?
I believe they're based on.
Let me get my point out. Do you believe in the stories told in the Bible?
I believe some of it.
No, you got to. Take it back. Take it back.
Yeah, let's take that back.
Before you go to stories in the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. Do you believe in evolution or creation? Like I'm assuming that's where he's going.
This is a very loaded question.
Adam and Eve or the Big Bang?
I kind of believe in both, if that makes sense.
So if you believe in Adam and Eve, who were they kids fucking? They were fucking their brothers and sisters. You are 99.9% the same as every woman you've ever fucked with.
Oh shit! But that means we're related. Brother. Come here, brother.
Yeah, but there's a safe distance to which you can do that.
And I understand that.
And also, like you were saying, there's also the different. It's okay. So the people that I'm having sex don't belong to my family, especially my immediate family. Right. Like there's a lot of complications in just that alone.
But then again, what is the difference? So like, what's the difference between you fucking a cousin you never knew and you fucking a best friend that you grew up with like a sister.
Again, once you know better, you do better. That's like
No,
saying
no.
That's like saying
what is the difference?
The difference is the knowledge that you possess in doing it. It becomes something premeditated.
Okay.
You're committing a premeditated act at that point that is or is not acceptable in society.
I think the crime here is saying that, like, before you do anything, the crime is you don't have sex with family, right?
Right.
Unless you're married and your wife's sister comes onto you, then it's okay, because that's family by law. That's not family by blood. I'm just joking. Nobody found that funny. You guys are just
I was actually thinking to a better retort to what he was saying.
All right,
so let me give you an analogy.
But so let me finish that first. So the crime is not here being attracted to somebody doing it. The crime was that they at the time they found out they was cousins, apparently it should have been taboo and they should have stopped. Right?
Right.
All right, we're family. Like, all of a sudden, I should be disgusted of you. It's like you and your pretty cousins, which, by the way, suck.
Wow.
Hey, man.
I'll just say what's up to your pretty cousins in Mississippi.
Right. It's a shout out. It's not a come on. It's a shout out.
It's a shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out, cuzzos. Love you, cuzzos.
So anyway, so you could look at somebody and find them attractive.
Absolutely.
But the thing is that you're not pursuing that attractiveness because you're like, it's taboo. Like, I can't do my family. So they were already way past that. And then, I guess they just figured they didn't want to backtrack. It was like, fuck it.
So, like, until the point of them having kids. Because when you have kids, you're unintentionally forcing your decision onto someone.
But that's why I was saying, like, were they fucking for creation or fucking for recreation?
I'm assuming recreation, because she's not pregnant, don't want to get pregnant, career oriented, blah blah blah.
So what's the difference? I'm just speculating here. What's the difference in dicks when they got a condom on?
One belongs to your first cousin, and one belongs to a stranger to you.
I'm just saying. So let me ask you this. Back to the logic that you were spewing out. So whether I believe in creationism or not, evolution, you start from a single cell organism, eventually everybody. But who created the single cell organism?
Right, exactly. So either way, like I said, it doesn't matter. You're right. At the beginning of our species, people were related. However, the fact that we know what comes of that after generations of it, because now we're how many generations in?
Yeah, but
billions.
Do you think about this? All right, so here's the big bang, right? Single cell organism created, right? Single cell organism somehow spawns into multiple single cell.
Right.
So how does a single cell split?
Through mitosis.
Okay, so then it keeps going, eventually creates a colony of something, right?
And there's enough variation between each one
so that they start to develop. So eventually the first man wasn't man. He was Neanderthal or ape descended. So in order for him to continue creating the evolution, I mean, like 15 apes didn't evolve at the same time.
Right.
One evolved and kept fucking the other apes.
Right.
And
that it laid itself.
Yeah. That's why it took 65 million years for us to get to this podcast, because the apes had to keep fucking themselves.
We took the slow way there.
So running back around to another logic that you were trying to give or heave my way at my disgust. The difference in knowing better and doing better and not knowing is, like, for me, it's like, okay, so you feed someone peanuts, they get sick and die. You might get convicted of negligent homicide, but if you knew that they were allergic to peanuts and you gave them to them, that's murder.
All right. Yeah.
Every single lactose intolerant person is like, not every single, but a good majority of them like, yo, I'm going to eat this ice cream or I'm going to have this cheese and I'm going to go shit my guts, but I'm going to enjoy this while I got it.
That is a decision they make. That is different between a deadly allergy. No one says, I'm going to go have peanuts and
I got a question.
Chance it.
I got a question. So say we went to the club and you found like a fine chick, right? And you took her back to the crib. You got her in the bed. You was going to do the nasty. Say you was mid-stroke. And she was like, I just want to tell you that we cousins.
We're done. We're done here.
Wait, are you not going to finish?
Hell no, we're done.
Are you hopping out it?
I'm out all the way out of that pussy.
Wow. You don't care how wet it is?
It can be the whoppiest of the wops.
So
Wait.
can I just say?
Can we say waffles now? Because like wet ass feet would be waff. So I just want to say waffles.
Bro.
So my question is like, thanks to this video, is WAP now just in the general vernacular? Can we say that amongst normal, like, non-urban individuals?
What? All right, so like if WAP's the new norm, and then we're jumping from subject to subject here, but if WAP's the new norm, what happens to the chick that has just the regular wet pussy? Not that wet ass pussy, but just the regular, like, yo, my shit ain't super wet, but my shit wet enough.
The moist.
The moist.
The moist.
The mops.
the mildly moist pussy.
The MMP.
The MMPs.
We got the mops. We got the MMPs. We got the wops.
So after everybody's done signing the petition, does Kylie Jenner get regulated to the MMP video instead? That mildly moist pussy video?
What about the one chick that has the DAP?
But
Drenched ass pussy. Drenched. Drenched.
I'm sorry, like you
yeah,
said
but
that.
then my sheets are nice, and I don't know if I want that.
You said that, and I'm still thinking about why everybody hating on Kylie Jenner in this video.
I don't know.
No, nobody hated.
Seems to be a good fit to me.
Nobody hated with Dame Dash and P Diddy was in the videos for fucking years. Like Biggie made a song and you had fucking Diddy in the background, right? And nobody gave a fuck. How many Missy songs do you see Timbaland just standing there? Like nobody cares that Timbaland is there, right? But all of a sudden Kylie in there, it's like, yo, like she ain't got nothing to do with this at all. Which, you know, Cardi reaction was she just wanted to put bad bitches in the video.
Exactly. Like, I mean, honestly, people care too much about that, I think. Because, like, who the fuck really
You definitely
cares?
know Cardi playing the game, though, to get Kris Jenner on her side. That way, you know, like, the mom of moms is going to take care of you down the road when they got, like, some type of, like...
Right.
I mean, like, think about it.
When your buzz is gone, hey, we got a Love and Hip Hop retirement show or some shit.
Exactly, because don't Kylie Jenner have
on.
like the most followers on Instagram, period? Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you feature her that way when she's featuring saying that,
she was,
hey, you know, check this video out,
you think Cardi was using
everybody uses everybody. It's business. And she knew she was, like, the thing is, Cardi was using her, and Kylie knew she was being used. As long as the money is right, she don't care.
So that was my early speculation. Like, she might have funded some of the video shooting in some way. I don't know. I have no evidence. I was like, maybe she helped fund the video, and that's how she got it.
You know what I know? I know y'all sick. I know y'all sick in the head, and I know this for a fact because y'all went from talking about banging your cousins to wet ass pussy. Like
that was a hell of a transition.
That's where your mind transitioned from.
I'm following the conversation, and as you said, we're all over the place. We didn't even give any finality to my subject, so let's take a moment to do that.
But
all right.
You're just following the finality. So if she opened her legs and told you to come inside, you just follow the finality, even if it's your cousin or not.
That is two totally different things. We're talking about conversation and sex.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill the subject in a nutshell for me, right? I don't have your problem. You know, like, I don't got a lot of family. And the family I do, I'm straight.
Oh, you have a lot of family. You just don't know. So you probably didn't been through a couple of cousins.
I mean, my family, you know, is not my type to begin with. But anyway, I'm encouraged that, you know, I don't know if I could get down mentally with a cousin or even a second or third cousin. The minute I know we related, it's kind of like, you know. But I'm honestly, like, you know, meeting the chick, I'm not thinking that.
Right.
Like, hey, could we be related? Maybe not. And the minute I'm swimming in it, I'm swimming. Motherfucker, I'm Michael Phelps with a stroke. I'm going for 17 gold medals.
So, you know, my point of view on this is the same on all the human condition, right? You do not know what you will do until you are in the situation. When little boys are like, man, I ain't never going to eat pussy. I ain't never going to do this. Man, we got whole songs about wet ass pussy and getting in it.
This guy, I sound like I feel like he's talking from experience.
Right.
Like, I feel like he was a kid growing up, and he was like, "I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna eat it." And I feel like that's what he does all the time now.
Exactly. So until you are in the situation, there is no telling what kind of emotions and feelings you're gonna have in that situation. So you could be adamant, which is and this goes back to your cousins, like your friends' cousins, right? You could be adamant. No, I make the logical decision. And they might have said the same thing too until they were in the situation.
I'm in occurrence though. Like the minute you found out it was a cousin, why you kept doing it?
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She had that wop.
No, I'm
you know better. You do better.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Again, you guys know my stance on it. I just think
that's
like
a dear crew letter.
Yeah.
You still in my segment?
I just realized that I was banging my cousin. Like, I want to quit, but it's just so good. What should I do, crew?
But I mean, there's like what 8-9 billion people in the world. Like, there's somebody else with good dick.
So all right. So going by that logic, like, do you remember the best chick you ever slept with? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
whatever your name is out there, he took a second.
Yeah.
No, I think there was a lot. I remember the best head I ever had. I think there was a lot of girls that was really good in the sack. So like, it's hard to compare because I liked it for different reasons.
In the sack. Remember that. Remember when Ergoff gets you, he's gonna get you in that sack.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I enjoyed myself for different reasons. So like, it's hard to kind of just be like the best girl I ever had.
Yeah, so
I remember clearly.
Okay, I'm gonna plead the fifth.
You're a smart man with attachments. I'm good.
Fuck that. Of course, everybody remember. I mean, like it's some things you remember: your first time, the best time, and apparently the greatest head you get.
Oh man, that shit was life changing. I'm not even gonna lie.
Like fire. Would you risk losing your job to go home and get it?
Yeah,
damn.
Absolutely.
Oh shit.
Well, I'm self-employed, so I wouldn't fire myself. But yeah.
Damn. Yo, so what's up with the South Beach beard? When we get back online?
When this,
I mean, because the beard trend's about to go away.
Right.
No, it's not.
People
can't wear a mask. Like,
yeah.
You saw my beard a couple of weeks ago.
Mask and beard don't mix. So like the beard trend's about to go out. I mean, until this Corona shit, like I think what you need to do is like, I'll be okay if you stop funding the podcast for a little bit and like direct your funds into a vaccine for COVID. That way people can stop wearing masks and that for grow beards and that way you can get your money right. But I want 51%.
Well, the magic of grooming is there's more than just beards out there. There's hair, there's shaving, there's aftershave.
Are you going to rebrand the South Beach Grooming?
No, I mean, it can still be South Beach Beard. It doesn't have to be rebranded.
Yeah,
it's a grooming company.
Like with mask in general, though, like with this whole COVID shit, like every time like I talk when I'm wearing, like when I got a beard and like when that shit gets to a point and you start talking, like the mask starts riding up. Like only me and chicks with mustaches understand what that problem is. I tell you what though, at least you know, like what people who's probably hurting though is probably wax places because chicks ain't worried about getting their lips waxed no more because they just wear a mask.
I think dentists are having a hard time too.
So question though, real quick, make it quick. Cousin or chick with a beard? Who you banging first?
I'm gonna direct her to southbeachbeard.com and then we gonna get in that WAP.
You over here plugging. I'm sitting here having a mental crisis like, I don't know, sir. Let me weigh the pros and cons.
No, we're shamelessly plugging over here.
Legitimately thinking about like, I don't know.
Wait, do I get to wear a condom or not? I mean, this is almost as bad as that conversation we had about like, would you bang an old lady for $6,000 a month?
Jesus, yes, I remember that conversation.
On the lost episode, or did
no, that's on the episode that they just heard before this one.
Okay.
So it was there. So anybody got anything else before I jump into something real quick?
No, since he stole my segment of Dear Crew.
I mean, listen. I'm sure some of the feedback was we want to hear more of Ergoff because that guy is self-possessed.
Hey.
He's got his shit together.
Yeah. So like I do have like one badass topic, but I'm gonna save it for the next episode because unfortunately, like we already running close to time, and I hate not being able to give the
topic.
I hate rushing the ending credits. You know what I'm saying? To do it, but I do like. I thought of something the other day, and I thought it was real fucked up. So, what do you think about a chick who know what know who the daddy of the baby is, but then don't tell dude? Like how on a scale of 1 to grime, how grimy is a chick? Like when she know you ain't the daddy, and she continue to let you raise that kid and let you think you the son.
Wait, no, that's a separate question. That's a separate question because you start off by saying she know who the daddy is and she don't tell him versus I ain't the daddy and she ain't tell me.
Yes, okay, so that's the thing. Like chicks letting dudes raise kids as they own, and she knows he ain't the daddy.
So there's two qualifying questions I would ask. The first one is the baby's father abusive and a piece of shit?
Why does that matter?
Hold on.
I don't have a situation for it, but I don't think that matters regardless because it's not the dude that was abusive. It's the kind dude that's raising the kid.
But here's the thing. Not everyone deserves to raise a kid, but everyone deserves to know if they have a kid.
I agree on both sides, right? If a chick was with a dude, right, and she cheated on him and she got pregnant by another dude and she didn't tell the dude she was with, and he thought he was I forget the fuck I was watching, but it was like it was a situation like that. It was a TV show. So she slid off on the dude, banged somebody one time. She got pregnant, so she went back home and banged the dude to make him think that he was the daddy. So he grew up raising the kid as his own, then come to find out like 10 years into it that that's not his kid.
That is really messed up. Like
and the chick knew about it. So it's like, how, and they talk about dudes doing some slimy shit, but it's like, how grimy is that? I mean, because the dude obviously raising the kid is a good dude because he's raising the kid. He's taking care of his kid. Again, we got deadbeat dads out there that don't take care of their kids. You got dudes that don't even want kids that be out there impregnating chicks, not telling them their real names, walking in the club talking about, yo, I'm Ergoff, what's up?
I'm just here for some head.
Can't get pregnant from the head.
I'm beating it up as long as you're not my first cousin. Second cousins can get a little dick, but the third cousin's gonna get all of it.
That's Andre there.
So I was just like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I'd hate to be in that. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Like, I think I would lose my fucking mind. Like, I'm scared to this day that, like, if I ever had a kid, like, and granted, I could be in a fucking tight ass loving relationship, I always be fucking paranoid. When that kid come out, that kid don't look exactly like me, I'm gonna be fucking skeptical. I'm gonna be, where the baby got them eyes from? Brown eyes? Wait, the kid's hair is black? I will fucking be I'm so, like, I guess that's why I'm on the verge. Like, I just don't want to have kids. Is one, like going through what I went through as a kid. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Two, I don't have time for it. Like I barely have time for my cat. But three, it's like I'd be so paranoid that like I'm gonna get caught up in some fucking like shit like that.
I agree, BP. I agree that like the first two reasonings is one of the reasons why I'm not like gung ho on having a kid or anything like that. I think the third thing, that's one of those things where I feel like if I'm gonna have a kid with a chick, I'm gonna know her well enough to have faith in her, and also realize that whatever happens, regardless to what happens, this child was placed in this circumstance for a reason. It's not the child's fault. So even if I was raising a kid for 10 years and didn't know it was my kid, like, you still have to love that kid. Because now I have those connections. I care.
Yeah, but...
And you have to see it through because they were put in your life for a reason.
But that's not the
question. That's like dating a single mom.
Now...
You know she got a kid. You know it ain't yours. You could learn to love it as your own. I mean, it's not... That's not the difference. The difference is with somebody willingly... I mean, like, how preposterous would that shit be? Like,
oh, well, no. Me and the baby mama is done because that's broken trust.
So you and Chick have a kid, right? The kid's 12 years old. She tells you that the kid's not yours. Do you stay with her or do you kick her to the curb?
Absolutely not, because I feel like...
Okay, so you kick her to the curb.
Yeah.
What you say? You might stay with her? Wow.
I don't know, because my feelings range from...
No. Okay. So
like
you might stay with her. You say hell no. I say hell no. I'm sorry.
My feelings range from like, should I murder this bitch to... Like,
if it was a fuck up and it's like, oh, I didn't know or some shit, then I still think you lying. But maybe, but if she knew and you knew she knew, then that's fucked up. But two, the second question is that, do you stay in the kid's life?
Yes, absolutely.
So you go from being daddy to uncle, or you still gonna be called daddy?
I think whatever the kid's comfortable calling me, I don't mind.
So you don't mind them calling you daddy, even though you're not the daddy?
I mean,
technically.
So have you never been to like one of your best friend's house and you call your best friend's mom too?
Well, that's like my father. My father wasn't in my life, right? So I was always call him father because he was my biological father. Like he was the sperm to the egg. But I would never call him dad because he was never a dad. So I guess like in that aspect, the kid could still call you dad if he was a dad figure, but you can't be called father no more.
Right.
Unless you're in the priesthood.
And then, to be fair, you're saying, you'd still be part of the kids. So if you choose to leave her, you're fucking up that kid's life because...
Yeah, but
because you have no response, like you have no legal right to see that kid, and you could actually go to jail for trying to interact with that kid that's not yours.
But how is this on you? Like
exactly,
like
that's not
on
on
granted, I saw this on a TV show, and they think it's some elaborate shit, but I don't know because. Like that. It's just deceptive. Like it's real.
It's grimy
real,
as shit.
It's real deceptive. That's like, all right. So if a dude slid out on a chick and got another chick pregnant,
he'd be the worst dude ever,
right? He'd be the worst dude ever.
Right.
Like, you out there, cheating and doing this, all this. But a chick do it, and then everybody would feel bad, right? And be like, but she can't be a single mom, this and that. And the only reason there ain't as many single dads out there as there should be. Is because the court system is very biased towards the mother. Like I know plenty of dudes that would want to be a dad, but they baby moms is like, no, they want to take care of the kid.
Right.
I think that in that Kanye West song, dude paid child support for for one of his kids. At
Found out on his birthday.
18th birthday that the kid wasn't his.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye knew what was up.
So I think the only, like you were saying, Andre, I think the only balance to that, you're saying that, you have no legal right to see the kid, but also you have no legal right to support the kid. So if the mother needs that support, she's going to let you see the kid.
Yeah, but fuck that bitch. It's about the kid at that point. Like that's why I'm like, I range from bitch. It's just easier to murder this bitch than it is to then go.
But it's not, because then now the child's not going to have a mother or a father because you're going to jail, my guy.
You know what this is? This is where we need that female perspective. One, I need to know if a female's going to do their cousin once they know that is they cousin. Mm-hmm. And two,
we do need to know that answer.
Oh shit! So the next podcast we do with some females.
So it'll next podcast, follow up podcast, get a female perspective.
We just got to remember to ask that question because that shit is going to be ridiculous.
Listen, that was a hell of a topic. That Ergoff guy is really smart.
Wow. You sure you did? How many ribs you got? You missing a couple?
Oh no!
The way you be blowing yourself, you seems like it.
Oh, what the fuck? You blow yourself and your head get bigger? What's up with that?
I do have some confidence today,
Yo,
fellas.
so I mean,
It's
great
the vodka.
I want to say like crazy podcast topics today. I didn't even give y'all mine. Like,
Man.
So I mean, the beauty is that what the fuck? Did you just do that?
Yeah, I was making a note.
Wow, like we haven't used that fucking notepad in like 2 fucking years, and now you fucking sending the actual topic to me.
So I'm not sending it to you.
You two fairies, two fairies share notes.
So no,
No, we gotta
listen. I'll put this. I'll put this out there as we end this podcast. Right when we came up with the idea for the podcast, right? I was like, all right. So anyway, like we've been playing with this podcast idea for like 4 years, right? And there were all types of different like leeways. Like we were like, all right, well, we'll have topics. All right, have topics. We'll bring topics. That didn't work. It's like, all right, let's do it spontaneous. That didn't work. So then it was like, I was at the one point where I was like, all right, well, what I'll do is I'll think of some shit, and then you think of some shit, and then we'll come together and we'll spontaneous improv off of one another, right? So what I told him to do was, since we both got the iPhone, let's share a notepad, you know, because you can go in the notes and share a note with multiple people. So we did that. We got it to work, and then I used to send him all types of topics and shit on the notepad, and then every time he'd be like, "I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it."
I never said I didn't get it. I just said I didn't look at it.
Son of a bitch! He kept. It just went away. So I kept putting shit to it, but then it would like say it didn't transfer over or whatever. You know, he's been through like 10 fucking iPhones because he keeps breaking it. But now all of a sudden, just now as we sit here, he's fucking sending me a goddamn topic on the fucking notepad.
I was writing a note so we can make sure we have the list of questions.
All of a sudden, the man wants to buy stands for the podcast for the mics. He wants to fucking use the notepad. Like, you suddenly so invested in this podcast. Like, I feel like money is coming my way.
So
I might remember I promised a couple of episodes ago I would get us a sponsor.
And we still don't have it.
I take extreme exception to that.
Okay, well,
Extreme.
last time I checked,
With prejudice.
my pockets ain't no fatter.
Right.
How about your pockets
We
feel like?
as
humble.
As Tyrese would say, yo, we hungry. And our pockets are
So
looking a little
my
light.
response would be, you should have read the contract. You haven't reached the right amount of subscribers yet. So we got to get on it, fellas.
That's cool. Anyway, so shout out to Andre for figuring out we still had a notepad with topics from like a million years ago. For all the listeners, eventually, maybe one day you'll hear. I mean, there's one lost episode out there. There's another one that I have. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones, though, that I think are on some flash drive somewhere out of nowhere. But,
So I want to end with something very random. My
Okay.
bad. It just came to my mind. I was watching this show, Animal Kingdom, and one of the main characters is named Smurf. And she has 4 boys, and they're like stick-up boys. Anyway, she calls one of her sons a son of a bitch. And I just thought that's incredible. That is incredible for a mother to call her son a son of a bitch.
I mean, chicks call themselves bad bitches all the time.
Right.
Right, but
I'm a bad bitch.
But if I use the term, like, I got in trouble for this. I think it was just last week.
Yeah, recently.
'Cause
I was there.
I was saying, like, I use the word, bitch, female, hoe, like, just interchangeably with woman. There's no disrespect behind these words.
Yeah, but how can anybody take it disrespectful when the whole Cardi B song that everybody's jamming to starts with "There's some hoes in this house,
Right.
there's some hoes in this house."
Right.
But
It's
listen,
so
listen,
hypocritical
it's kind of
everyone.
But then listen, if we're giving you leeway there, then we have to give white people leeway to say the N-word.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. All right, so I definitely I'd like to get on the next podcast a female or 2 randoms. I don't care who they are, but I want to talk about this hoes in the house, this cousin banging and all that other stuff. But anyway, I don't want to keep anybody too long. Again, thank you for everybody that's been tuning in, that's been showing love.
Absolutely. Thanks,
love y'all.
guys.
Shout out to my dude Franklin. He know who he is. Again, code names. But Franklin know who Franklin is. Franklin was one of the OGs that was down with the podcast since we first started consistently recording. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody that's been tuning in, today I got 2 new followers on Instagram. Plus, we got 5 streams last night alone. So shout out to everybody showing love. Again, we appreciate it. Again, like, I really need the buzz and the social media following to really get this podcast somewhere. So please, all social media platforms, which is mostly Twitter and Instagram. I don't know anybody that do anything else. If you old, then maybe use Facebook. I got Snapchat too. It's all BP, the letter BP _ 2dab. Hit us up. Like, you could DM me topics. I promise you, as long as the topic ain't some dumb shit, maybe even it is some dumb shit, we'll put it on the podcast.
And we'll roast you.
We'll roast you for it, but we might put it on the podcast.
I definitely make sure you get the shout out for us roasting your ass. We go Kenny Rogers roaster, motherfucker. So no, but again, like just the fan base we got. Again, 300 streams on 12 episodes. You do the math. We've been doing this. I know we took a 2-month hiatus between June and July. We came back in August, and I promise, we're gonna keep it consistent. Even if we got to record 3 episodes a day for 5 summers. The Kanye West, treatment here. I won't run for president at least for another 2 years. Because you got to be 35. So 2024, baby powder for president.
Oh, that means next year I can run for president.
Fellas,
you can be my vice president.
2024, bro. 2020's already here.
I'm currently eligible, but I'm just biding my time.
Okay. Yeah, you better not bite your cousin, homie.
Then we better delete all these episodes. They gonna
roast
us on the Daily Show.
They coming forward.
Well, I mean, considering.
So again, please, big push on the social media. Again, we losing 1 out of every 10 podcasts due to the clerical errors with the iPad. We need that MacBook Pro. I got the GoFundMe out, so GoFundMe. Check out the social media links. Donate $1, something. I mean, y'all spend more on them skeezers every day. You can give your boy $1. Just help out. I got 15 followers right now. If they each gave me $1, I had $15. Holla at your boy.
All right.
So again, thank you everybody, and again, please check out Elite Photos. You can find them on my Instagram. They're there. Dope photographer. Definitely up and coming. Official photographer of the 2dab crew conglomerate until we figure out whether it's whatever we're gonna call it. We're gonna conglomerate for now. Check out Vinyl Cafe if you're in Orlando or close to it, or if you like hookahs or pool or CBD or hemp or tacos or whatever. Just go to Vinyl Cafe, please. Tell them you was sent by 2dab crew and Elite Photos.
Right.
And then check out Ozzy the Virus, Ozzy Oz _DA _VYRUS virus. Again, all these people you can find on the social media tags. And we do appreciate everybody tuning in. And with that, we're going to hit you with a peace.
Peace.